President Donald Trump's long-sought military parade rolled through the streets of downtown Washington on Saturday in celebration of the U.S. Army's 250th anniversary.
Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too.
But the event, which coincided with Trump's 79th birthday, was marred by a day of violence and discord.
3. The band has also served in support of numerous state active duty missions, including cleanup efforts following Hurricane Sandy, distribution support during COVID-19, and recently, support for New York State Corrections. Commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 2 Ethan Wagner and led by Drum Major Sergeant First Class Drew Gans, the band is performing Over There, written in 1917 by Broadway composer and recipient of the Congressional Gold Medal George M. Cohan. Representing the World War I era is the 82nd Airborne Division, based out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. You'll notice the unit is wearing replica World War I uniforms signifying the soldiers who served our nation during this time. When the Americans entered the Great War, our soldiers, under the command of General Blackjack Pershing, hit the trenches in the new standard. It was the olive drab winter service uniform. Afghanistan. Thundering into view, the pride of Fort Sill, the U.S. Army Artillery Half Section. This is literally powered by horsepower and heritage. This elite ceremonial unit honors the legacy of the Army's horse-drawn artillery. With precision, discipline, and 6 majestic horses pulling a vintage 1918 caisson, the half section keeps tradition alive and rolling strong. Representing the power, pride, and precision of America's field artillery, this is Fort Sill's finest, ladies and gentlemen. Beaches of Normandy to the islands of the Pacific, the greatest generation faced down tyranny and turned the tide. The iconic Sherman tank is here, ladies and gentlemen. It was the cornerstone of the U.S. Armed Forces, showing its military might in World War II. It became one of the most influential tank designs of the 20th century. The M4 tank was nicknamed the Sherman tank after Civil War General William Tecumseh Sherman. Actually, it was named by the British. With almost 50,000. The M151 kept rolling along as the lightweight, high-mobility general-purpose vehicle replacing the famed World War II Jeep back in 1961. Officially named the Military Utility Tactical Truck, or MUT, most servicemen generally referred to it as a Jeep Express that kept the Allies supplied after D-Day in World War II. The Korean War, often referred to as the Forgotten War, began on June 25, 1950, with the North Korean Army's invasion of South Korea. A coalition of South Korea, the United States, and other United Nations members defeated the invasion and advanced into North Korea. During this war, the United States deployed approximately 6.8 million military forces to the Korean War and Operation Iraqi Freedom. The Deuce and a Half proved its value moving cargo, supplies, and soldiers. Its capabilities include up to 5,000 pounds off-road and 10,000 pounds on-road, making it ideal for moving just about anything. In the jungles of Vietnam, the U.S. Army faced a new kind of war. Helicopters became the new workhorses of battle, delivering troops, firepower, and supplies into some of the most unforgiving terrain on Earth. This is the U.S. Army in Vietnam, the era of air mobility, fierce firefights, and unwavering brotherhood. And over the music marching through, the roar of these legendary Army helicopters takes to the air. Flying overhead right now, they help define the Vietnam War. That staccato beat of the rotor blades was a welcome sound. Texas has played a vital role in U.S. military history. Since its origins back in 1855 as the Band of the 2nd Cavalry, it has supported operations from the Civil War to Desert Storm. Over time, it's evolved into a powerful force using music to strengthen bonds between soldiers and engage with communities. From World War II in Korea to the Vietnam War in Bosnia, the 1st Team Band has enhanced morale and upheld the division's enduring legacy. Today, the band continues its mission using music to shape perceptions, foster trust, and promote National Army and Division, enduring symbol of the 1st Cavalry Division's legacy and commitment to duty. The band performs Hit the Leather and Ride, a march composed by Captain Robert Meredith Wilson. This piece reflects the cavalry's transition from horses to mechanized warfare, capturing the speed, the resilience, and the tradition of the division. From Court Cavazo, Texas, everybody, the 1st Cavalry Division Band. The U.S. Army deployed large numbers of troops in support of the Vietnam War. The first contingent of U.S. Army advisors arrived in Vietnam in the late 19th. When Saddam Hussein's Iraq invaded Kuwait in August 1990, the U.S. Army deployed to Saudi Arabia to deter further Iraqi aggression in the region for what was known as Operation Desert Shield. By the fall, more than 750,000 troops comprising U.S. service members and coalition partners from more than 30 countries had assembled in the Saudi Arabian desert. In mid-January 1991, the U.S.-led coalition began Operation. More military rolling stock. During Operation Desert Storm, the M2 Bradley fighting vehicle proved its value on the battlefield. It is fast, it is tough, and it is lethal. Named for General Omar Bradley, a leader from West Point's famed class of 1916, the Bradley was built to carry troops into combat with protection and power. Armed with a 25mm chain-driven cannon and twin tube. In the Gulf War, no division hit harder or moved faster than the 1st Army. As part of the buildup for World War II, cavalry and reconnaissance units were brought together to form the 1st Armored Division in 1940. In the Gulf War, no division hit harder or moved faster than the 1st Armored. Old Ironsides really led the way. During Desert Storm, they engaged in some of the largest tank battles in Army history. There were decisive victories shattering enemy formations. Based in Fort Bliss, Texas, America's Tank Division is currently supporting missions in 20 countries across 5. First used in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm, the M119 howitzer brought precision firepower to the front lines. Lighter and more mobile than larger artillery, it was built for the infantry brigade, able to fire high in the air or directly. On September 11, 2001, terrorists destroyed the World Trade Center in New York City and struck the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. using commercial airliners. In response, the U.S. launched the global war on terrorism. The U.S. will stop potential threats around the world and take the fight to terrorism.
Lincoln in their ranks. After the 11 terrorist attacks, Reiters were called upon to lead the way in as part of the U.S. Army Special Operations Command, the 75th Ranger Regiment, based out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina, represented individuals who lead and succeed in protecting the country from their threats. Composed of 5 units with unique specialties, Special Operations forces small tactical teams taking on the most challenging and sensitive missions. Military legends and service members and civilians alike, they take on terrorists and quiet guerrilla war-style missions in foreign countries. Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Army's Special Forces. Fighting an elusive enemy in distant places has required surveillance and the British trying to receive real-time details of their movements. The United States does not face the challenging international environment alone. Our network of allies and partners is an advantage in our efforts. Two-thirds of the 7,000 servicemen and women sacrificed their lives fighting the Lebanon terrorism were part of one of the Army's three divisions. After leading forces, the 7th Infantry Division stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord has been seeing continuous combat action ever since activation of World War I. From Europe to the Aleutian Islands, Japan, Korea, Afghanistan, and the Pacific, the Bayonet Division boasts a proud history of answering the call of its motto, "Trust in Me," with resolute dedication. Sent to deployments and conflicts around the globe since it was founded, the division returned to Fort Lewis in 1971, its first time on American soil since 1934. The 7th Division. requiring ongoing maintenance in the field and on base because nothing happens until something moves. Wheeled vehicle mechanics supervise and perform maintenance, repair, and recovery operations on vehicles that serve the Army in a variety of mission-critical roles. Included in the array of mobile artillery such as Paladins and the Abrams tank is the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle known as the JLTV. It's highly adaptable, providing protected and sustained. During World War II, the Army activated 26 organized reserve infantry divisions. Roughly a quarter of the Army's officers corps came from the reserve general company. During the Korean War, the organized reserve corps was reorganized and redesignated to civilians serving their home communities, and when needed, they can quickly mobilize. The Army can't deploy, we can't fight or win without the Army Reserve. They are an important component of Army readiness. Let's have a big hand for the Army Reserve! Any vehicle has proven itself to be lethal in survival with multiple feeders since the first vehicle back in the 1980s. Designed as a troop transport, tank killer, and to match speed to the neighbor's tank, the Bradley is a fierce fighting machine. Bradley accompanies American troops often with the neighbor's tank, nicknamed the Beast and Whispering Death because of its firepower. The Apache entered service in the mid-1980s and continues to evolve and modify to meet the worldwide threats. It can deliver intense fire on the battlefield with a range of aerial rockets, guided mobile missiles, and up to 30 millimeter cannon fire. The aircraft you see here is configured with a sophisticated targeting radar system that can operate in poor visibility and in black and white. With more than 864 Apache represents the backbone of the U.S. Army's attack helicopter fleet and a growing number of international defense forces. The Army Research Laboratory robot dogs reflect the latest in Army innovation. Look at this. Much like a true canine, these robots can go where soldiers cannot. They have increased mobility, improved tactical awareness, reduced risk to soldiers, and enhanced teamwork. Replacing soldiers, robot dogs can explore terrain that may be difficult for soldiers to traverse. Disposal of explosive weapons to act in defensive posture or defensive capacity. As the oldest continuously serving Army band and the oldest unit at West Point, this is the United States Military Academy Band, ladies and gentlemen. West Point Band traces its history to a single drummer and fifer founded by George Over the next 2 centuries, this band evolved into one of the most capable and versatile performing groups in the world. One of the most prestigious institutions in the world where leadership is forged and duty becomes destiny. This is West Point, where Army leaders are made. With the motto of duty, honor, and country, West Point trains the best and fighters to serve their country as Army officers. Founded in 1882 by President Thomas Jefferson, West Point is the The Virginia Military Institute, on a mission to produce citizen soldiers, men and women educated for civilian life, prepared to serve their country in the armed forces. VMI counts on Nobel Prize winner, 11 Rhodes Scholars, generals, 7 Medal of Honor recipients, and a Pulitzer Prize winner among its graduates. As one of the nation's senior military colleges, students at Virginia Military Institute can participate in Army ROTC or the Corps of Cadets. While cadets in the Corps can serve in any branch of the United States military or pursue other careers, those in Army ROTC earn their commission as officers, ready to serve on active duty in the National Guard or Army Reserve. Each year, the Army Senior ROTC Blue Ridge Battalion commissions approximately 132nd lieutenants. In a powerful display of commitment, these future soldiers will raise their right hand and take an oath of enlistment, pledging to serve our nation. This joint formation is proudly led by the Joint Task Force, National Capital Region, and the Military District of Washington Retention Team. Shaping tomorrow's Army, West Point's most inspiring cadets remind us that America's future is courageous and in capable hands.
Left. Case. Mr. President, First Sergeant Norton reporting for duty, sir. Ready to commence the ceremony as directed.
I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support and defend. The Constitution of the United States of America. Against all enemies. Foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith. And allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders. Of the President of the United States. And the orders. Of the officers appointed over me. According to regulations. And the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations, congratulations. Welcome to the United States Army and have a great life. Thank you very much. Have a great life. Thank you.
Warren's
book it on repeat, laying on old memories and talking about what we used to be. She'd probably be the dead of me, but damn if it ain't sweet. She's my pretty little poison, my heartache in the night with a kiss on her lips just like cyanide. Yeah, she came with a warning, but I didn't mind. I'll go down on that high every time. She's my pretty little poison, my pretty little poison. Shadows dancing down the hall, whispers that she wants me. Try my best not to fall where she falls into me. We all need some kind of fix. For me, she's the one to pick. Nothing else will do the trick. She's all I need. She's my pretty little poison, my heartache in the night with a kiss on her lips just like cyanide. Yeah, she came with a warning, but I didn't mind. I'll go out on that high every time. She's my pretty little poison, my pretty little poison. Some I guess it's alcohol. I want none at all. I just want you. No, I just want you. My pretty little poison, my heartache in the night with a kiss on her lips just like cyanide. Yeah, she came with a warning, but I didn't mind. I'll go out on that high every time. She's my pretty little poison, my pretty little poison. She's my little Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm nervous, but I would just like to say thank you so much for having me here tonight. I am just so fortunate to be here in front of y'all, and thank you guys so much for what you guys do. And honestly, happy birthday, y'all. Happy birthday. This next song was loved by y'all, so if you know the words, please sing along. This song's called Ride the Lightning, y'all. Mama always said yes she did. One foot in the flames and the other trying to walk the line. Can't say I never saw it coming, I could see the warning signs. Mama always said I was born on the wild side. I guess Mama was right, 'cause when the clock strikes midnight, gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, breathing good, Lord lifts me high. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Gonna ride the lightning. I see you singing, my friend. There's a man in a black coat standing at a crossroads, with a pen in his hand and a long list of lost souls. They say he flips a coin, fools at a fool's gold. There's a man in a black coat standing at a crossroads. I hope he lets me pass by when I close my eyes. Gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, breathing good, Lord lifts me high. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Gonna ride the lightning, ride the lightning, ride the lightning. We got one more chorus, y'all. Gonna ride the lightning, feel the thunder, till the darkness pulls me under. Gonna fly on wings of fire, breathing good, Lord lifts me high. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Singing, oh, when they call me on. Gonna ride the lightning. Gonna ride the lightning. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody here, everybody that has attended tonight, I just want to say thank you so much. And I'll leave y'all with this. I'm Warren Zatters, y'all. Thanks for having me. It has been my honor, ladies and gentlemen. I really mean that. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to the Army. Happy birthday to our President, Donald Trump. Amen, y'all. God bless America, baby!
Well, let me say to the thousands of Americans who traveled from distant towns and across state lines to be here today, this is your national capital. Welcome to Washington, D.C. We are thrilled to have you. This evening, as we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States Army, the oldest branch of the greatest fighting force ever known to man, I want to say to all the soldiers all across our nation's capital and all across the world, happy birthday, soldiers. We're proud of you. And I want to say you represent an unbroken line of greatness, of excellence. And one of the things the President of the United States has told his entire administration, from the Vice President on down, is that we must remember that the young men and women who put on the uniform and serve this nation are our most precious resource. We must honor them, we must respect them, we must fight for them, and that's exactly what the Trump administration aims to do every single day. And so to our soldiers, we're so proud of you, and let me tell you that the way that we honor and respect you is, number one, we never ask you to go to war unless you absolutely have to, and number two, when we do ask you to go to war, we give you the weapons and the support needed to kick the hell out of the enemy and come back home safely. Now, I know I am the last thing standing between the main event, and that is a dangerous place to be with a lot of soldiers in the audience. So let me just say a couple of quick additional thoughts. First of all, June the 14th is, of course, the birthday of the Army. It is, of course, the birthday of the President of the United States, and happy birthday, Mr. President. But I would get in trouble if I didn't mention that it's also my wedding anniversary. And so to my lovely wife, I love you, honey, happy anniversary, and thank you for everything that you do for our country. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce the 45th and 47th Commander-in-Chief of the United States military, President Donald J. Trump.
Thank you to Vice President Vance, and thank you to our wonderful First Lady, and above all, thank you to the greatest, fiercest, and bravest fighting force ever to stride the face of this earth, the United States Army. Thank you very much. Because the Army keeps us free, you make us strong, and tonight you have made all Americans very proud. They're watching from all over the world, actually. Made them all very proud. Every other country celebrates their victories. It's about time America did too. That's what we're doing tonight. It has never changed, and it will never, ever change, because there is no earthly force more powerful than the brave heart of a U.S. infantryman or an Army Ranger, paratrooper, or Green Beret. They are the best, they are the finest. From Bunker Hill to San Juan Hill, from Gettysburg to Guadalcanal, from Yorktown to Shiloh, and from the trenches of the Argonne to the mountains of Afghanistan, the Army has forged a legacy of unmatched courage, untold sacrifice, and unequaled and undying glory. Our soldiers have poured out their blood by the bucketful on Missionary Ridge and Heartbreak Ridge, on the sands of Sicily, Normandy, and the Philippines, and on the dusty streets of Da Nang, Baghdad, and Fallujah. Thanks to their extraordinary service and devotion, 250 years later, America stands tall, America stands proud, and America stands free. We're the hottest country in the world right now, and our country will soon be greater and stronger than ever before. Down through history, we've been blessed beyond words by this valiant legion of Army warriors and patriots, heroes and legends. And tonight we affirm with unwavering certainty that in the years ahead and in every generation hence, whenever duty calls and whatever danger comes, the American soldier will be there. We've never done better. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the Army, and God bless America. And now I'd like to ask our great First Lady to join me at the podium. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, on behalf of the United States Army, the Army Golden Knights, I would like to present to you this flag, which was flown over our nation's capital in free fall during the Army's 250th birthday celebration.
Just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause our flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Happy birthday, Mr. President. From Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit to Houston, and New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, there ain't no doubt I love this land.
I raised my right hand, I swore an oath to every generation before me. I wear the same branch insignia as the soldiers who crossed the Delaware. Before there was a nation, there was an army. What division costs.
I serve because unity is worth the fight.
I carry that legacy forward every time I put on this uniform.
Both of my grandfathers served in the Second World War. They answered the challenges of their time, and it is my goal in this uniform to answer and meet the challenges of my time head on.
He ain't heaven, he's my brother.
Duty, honor, country. Those three hallowed words reverently dictate
There's a strength in these bonds. There's a realness to these bonds. It's not just because this is your team, it's because your life depends on these people.
I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit.
Trained and proficient in my warrior task and drill.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he will not encumber me. He's my brother. My brother, yeah. He ain't heaven, no, no. He's my brother.
When I'm outside guarding the tomb of the unknown soldier, it is one of the most honorable jobs I think that I could have had in the military. I think about those soldiers who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Oh, beautiful, for he was proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than love.
And I will always do my duty, no matter what the price. Hey, I've counted up the cost, I know the sacrifice. Oh, and I don't want to die for you, but if dying's asking me, I'll bear that cross with honor. Hey, freedom don't come free. I'm an American soldier, an American. Beside my brothers and my sisters, I will proudly take a stand. When liberty's in jeopardy, I will always do what's right. Man, I'm out here on your front line. Sleep in peace tonight. American soldier, I'm an American.
It was a humbling experience putting on this uniform. I believe this uniform is a symbol of trust, and it represents the highest ideals of our country.
where men have no homes, where the powerless are yearning to breathe free. May we fight for justice till there's justice for all.
Thank you for joining us on this historic occasion. A special thanks to Scott's Miracle Grow and all of the terrific America 250 sponsors that helped make this monumental event happen. And to you here in our audience or watching at home, to those in our U.S. military who are currently serving, have served, or being remembered, thank you for celebrating in the greatest country in the world. God bless you and God bless America. Good night.